entender e poder evoluir durante o programa devido à dificuldade linguística. É dessa forma que eu tenho acompanhado empreendedores de Moçambique, Guiné, Cabo Verde, Angola e, obviamente, Santo Tomé e Príncipe, com muito prazer ao longo destes anos. Tenho partilhado a minha experiência, tenho nos orientado como o programa funciona, mas, acima de tudo, tenho também aprendido com os chineses. Para mim, esse processo tem sido gratificante, mas, acima de tudo, o maior prazer é ver os meus empreendedores crescerem, ver os meus empreendedores darem passos para a frente. Aos empreendedores selecionados para a cohorte 2025, dizer-vos que estão de parabéns. Vocês não foram apenas selecionados para beneficiar de $5.000, não, vocês foram selecionados para fazer parte da maior e melhor família de empreendedores a nível do continente africano. Boa sorte a todos e bem-aja à Fundação Elumelu por esse programa magnífico que tem dado vidas de milhares e milhares de jovens e não só, de famílias africanas. Obrigada.
To our mentors globally, we say thank you very much. The Foundation acknowledges the support of our partners who have identified the tremendous work that we do in transforming lives of young Africans on the continent. Let's hear some words from
Elumelu Foundation, 2025 cohort of Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs. Every year, we are reminded of the extraordinary ambition, resilience, and potential of the African entrepreneurs, and today is no exception. This impact would not be possible without our Heads Holdings companies. I extend my deepest appreciation to Transcorp Group PLC, Health Energies, and United Capital, who continue to believe in the power of entrepreneurship to transform lives. I also thank Google, the UAE Office of Development Affairs, the Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan Foundation, DEG, for standing with us to scale our impact across the continent. The power of entrepreneurship is evident in the incredible stories of transformation we see every day. Over 1.5 million jobs created, more than $4.2 billion generated in revenue, and millions lifted out of poverty through the businesses we support. Women are leading this transformation. 45% of our entrepreneurs are women, and their success affirms what we have always known. When you empower a woman, you empower a family, a community, and an entire nation. So our latest Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs, you have joined the largest entrepreneurship network on the continent. Your journey will not always be easy, but remember, you are not alone. We believe in you, and we are committed to ensuring that you have the resources, knowledge, and networks to succeed. Congratulations, and I look forward to witnessing your impact. Thank you.
Good day from Cologne, Germany to Abuja, Nigeria. Dear Tony, it's a true privilege for me to join you virtually for the 2025 Tony Elumelu Foundation selection announcement. My heartfelt congratulations to all entrepreneurs selected for this year's program. Your dedication and your entrepreneurial spirit are truly inspiring to me. Tony, I had the privilege to meet with you and your team last December in Lagos, and I could truly see and feel myself how important the work of your foundation is in today's world for Nigeria, but also for the broader African context. We at DEG are very proud that we have supported a number of these entrepreneurs in the past programs, and we will continue to do so. We will finance a number of these entrepreneurs in the past programs, and we will continue to do so. We will finance 400 entrepreneurs with access to business management and to trainings in green entrepreneurships in the upcoming phase. By providing access to funding and mentorship, your foundation and its partners are empowering young African entrepreneurs to create jobs, reduce poverty, and work and thrive on inclusive growth in your country. I look very much forward to witnessing the continued success of this work of your foundation. Teutonian team, congratulations once again. Looking forward to meet you very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Assalamu alaikum. A special greeting to Mr. Tony, founder of the Tony Foundation, and to everyone present today. It is an honor to deliver this message on the behalf of the Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan Foundation as we celebrate a significant milestone, our inaugural partnership with Tony Foundation. At the Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan Foundation, we are deeply committed to fostering innovation, economic growth, and sustainable development. That's why this collaboration is a milestone, and the Tony Foundation has an outstanding legacy for African youth. We are, as a partnership together, will work together to develop an economic sustainable for African youth in Africa. And we wish good luck for everyone who will participate in our program, inshallah.
We say thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for is almost here. And it is my distinct honor and privilege to invite the Chief Executive Officer of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, Somachi Chris Asoluka.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning again. Distinguished guests, good morning. We are so delighted and honored to have you all with us here in this room. To our thousands of viewers across Africa and beyond, we also say thank you for tuning in. The Tony Elumelu Foundation is the leading philanthropy empowering young African entrepreneurs from across all 54 African countries. Since 2010, when the foundation was launched, we have been entirely focused on democratizing luck and institutionalizing access to economic opportunity for thousands of young Africans. We launched our Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program in 2015, and since then, we have disbursed over $100 million to 21,000 young men and women across all 54 African countries, who have collectively created 1.5 million jobs. In revenue, they have collectively generated $4.2 billion in revenue. These entrepreneurs and their businesses demonstrate over and over again that indeed their ideas are the lifeblood of the African continent. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to bring to the stage our consultants, EY, who will share their reports on the selection process of the 2025 Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. Thank you.
Good morning, distinguished guests, members of the TEF board, and viewers joining us from across Africa and beyond. My name is Damilola Haloba. On behalf of EY, it is my honor to present to you the results of the rigorous selection process for the TEF Entrepreneurship Program for 2025. Selection reflects strong Pan-African representation and highlights diversity from these 52 African countries. The shortlisted entrepreneurs reflect strong African representation, highlighting diversity and a well-balanced selection from 52 countries, with the highest representation from the following countries: Nigeria, Kenya, Benin, Uganda, Rwanda, Ghana, Malawi, Zambia, Tanzania, Cameroon, Democratic Republic of Congo, and South Africa. ICT, 9%, healthcare, 7%, education, 5%, and manufacturing, 4%. The remaining industries represent the 16% of the entire shortlisted entrepreneurs. We recommend entrepreneurs from 52 out of the 54 African countries for selection this year. And this final selection reflects strong Pan-African representation and highlights diversity from these 52 African countries. The shortlisted entrepreneurs reflect strong African representation, highlighting diversity and a well-balanced selection from 52 countries, with the highest representation from the following countries: Nigeria, Kenya, Benin, Uganda, Rwanda, Ghana, Malawi, Zambia, Tanzania, Cameroon, Democratic Republic of Congo, and South Africa. These are the 12 well-represented top countries that represented from the 52 countries. So on these notes, and in conclusion, I'd like to present to the board of the TEF 2025 entrepreneurs the list of 3,000 entrepreneurs who form the top of the list this year. And on this note, I want to thank you for the opportunity to work with you on this remarkable journey. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is an extremely special day because whereas on everyone else's birthday, they expect gifts and accolades, on our founder's birthday today, he's committed to funding an additional 3,000 young African entrepreneurs from 52 African countries. That is simply unheard of. It is my deepest privilege and honor now to introduce to our stage our founder, Tony Elumelu, CFR, and our co-founder, Dr. Elumelu, OFR.
Distinguished guests, please sit down. Distinguished guests, 22nd of March is a very special day to me as a person. Special because today is my biological age. Date. My biological date of birth. And so call it my birthday. But more importantly, today is the day the Tony Elumelu Foundation has chosen every year to democratize luck across Africa, to share happiness across Africa, to help give economic hope and opportunities to many, our young ones, across Africa. My wife and I, we had a vision. We shared a vision in 2010. We shared a vision of a self-sustaining African continent, a prosperous Africa, powered by the energy, innovation, leadership, and resilience of young African men and women. But my wife and I also know the challenges that these young Africans face in their resilience, in their ambitions, and in their willingness and desire to contribute to the economic transformation of Africa. As an entrepreneur, I understand very well the opportunities that abound in Africa. I understand the entrepreneurship transformative power that our young ones can unleash on the continent. But we know that there are challenges. We also know that if empowered and encouraged, these young Africans can fix the challenges we have across or that we live with in Africa. So we decided to create the Tony Elumelu Foundation that same year, 2010, to help give economic hope and opportunity to these young Africans, to help that next generation of Africa that are seriously challenged, to give them the resources, to give them the training and the guidance that they need to succeed. 15 years into this journey of entrepreneurship and capitalizing of luck and economic prosperity on the continent, we have achieved a bit. But in 2015, as people with private sector mindset, we know that what gets measured gets done. So we decided to take it one step further, to launch the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, to set metrics, targets that the world should hold us accountable for. One, we set out to economically empower, to identify 10,000 young Africans. Two, to do so over a period of 10 years. Three, to give each of them a non-refundable capital of $5,000. To train them and to appoint mentors for them. Because we know also as entrepreneurs that capital is not everything. Business education is critical, as well as mentorship and leadership and guidance. Fast forward, this year is the 15th year of the setting up of Tony Elumelu Foundation. When we look back, we are humbled by the progress that has been made, by the achievements that have been made, by the impact that has been created, not just in one country, not just in one's family, but across all 54 African countries. You have heard the statistics. We have been able to empower 21,000 young African men and women. Each spend over $100 million. And the good news is these people have helped to lift at least 2 million people out of poverty. This morning, if you go on our website, we released the Tony Elumelu Foundation 2024 Impact Report. In that 2024 Impact Report, you will see everything what has been accomplished. To us, we're excited that we have been able, working with our partners, to lift at least 2 million people directly out of poverty. Because at the Tony Elumelu Foundation, we share common beliefs. One is that poverty anywhere is a threat to all of us everywhere. And two is that no one but us will develop Africa. So what we do at the Tony Elumelu Foundation and the validation from the successes we see and listen to our young entrepreneurs who have just shared their testimony here is inspired, supported, motivated by these accomplishments. So ladies and gentlemen, as we commence the second decade of the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, it is my pleasure to identify and commend people who have made this possible. I start with our people, our staff, both past and current, who I say to my friends when they commend me about what the foundation has achieved, that the easiest job is check writing. The most difficult job is actually translating the vision to action and reality and seeing tangible impact. So I want to thank the TF team. If you see the CEO who came up, Samati, Chris Asolika, young lady, young African. You see the COO, Hakim, young African, and the rest of the team. I want to thank our mentors. You have been wonderful. Those midnight calls you take, your dedication, the generosity of sharing your knowledge with these young Africans will forever be remembered. Thank you. I want to thank our partners. You listen to some of them, but we have others, because as I said, this journey started so many years ago. Too many to be mentioned, but some stand out. United Nations Development Program, UNDP, thank you for what you do. Interestingly, United States government, thank you for being part of this. The German GIZ, thank you for your support. The International Red Cross, we appreciate your support. To African Development Bank, thank you. And then to Africa's Global Bank, United Bank for Africa. Finally, let me thank our board, our advisory board, and the board of trustees. We have 3 board of trustee membership. 1, Alex Trotter, 2, Dr. Elumelu, and 3, myself. So I thank my other 2 trustees, starting from the one next to me here, for being so supportive. They have really dedicated almost everything in making sure that this dream, this vision we shared in 2010 is today yielding even more dividends than we ever anticipated. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2015, when we launched the program, entrepreneurship program, the target was to empower 10,000. In 2024, we have empowered over 21,000. But we are keenly and acutely aware of the millions that we have been unable to touch yet. And which is why in my advocacy, in my trips, I keep mobilizing, encouraging the world that in the 21st century, what Africa needs is not aid. What Africa needs is investments. Investment in infrastructure and investment in our young ones. Because truly the future of Africa lies in the hands of these our young ones. What we do at the Tony Elumelu Foundation is not out of abundance of wealth. It is a realization, deep realization, that if we don't do this, this is very essential. If we don't do this, we're creating problems for ourselves, the so-called successful people, and our children, children. It is in our collective existential interests to identify and support others. So to those who have been unable to reach, the journey of entrepreneurship is one of resilience. We believe, either through the intervention of the Tony Elumelu Foundation and partners, will reach you, or other Africa. What we do at the foundation is to catalyze. Other Africans and friends of Africa will find you in your respective spaces and support you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is my honor, our honor, to accept the recommendation of Ernst & Young, EY, to unveil for the 2025 Tony Elumelu Foundation 3,000 successful entrepreneurs that will receive $15 million. So, are you watching? African entrepreneurs, are you watching? So we are going to unveil, and good luck.
We say keep your entrepreneurship dreams alive, and we wish you all the very best on your entrepreneurial journeys. Congratulations.
Photographers, please step down. Photographers, please step down. Photographers, videographers, please step down. Photographers, videographers,